2, 3. Hi Michael, great to be here in Auvergne. Thank you for welcoming us here at Domaine des Trouilleres. So we are in Auvergne, in the Massif Central, in the middle of France, surrounded by volcano. You were born in Tahiti.
Yes.
How did you end up making natural wine? Why did you decide to come here in Auvergne and settle in Auvergne? What's your story?
Okay, so it's a bit complicated. Actually, I wasn't born in Tahiti. I arrived at 2 years old.
Yeah.
But almost the beginning of my life, about 2 to 18,
yeah.
I was lived there. But
already volcano.
Yes.
You're following volcano in your life.
It's a volcanic island, of course. Yes, it's a part of history that why I came here. Yes, at the beginning, I did a school in Bordeaux, Blanquefort, to study wine. I started that kind of study because a friend of my father was an importer of wine in Tahiti. So I discovered the wine with him and my father. So I decided to start the work in wine, but I didn't know if it was the making or the selling. I'd like to discover the work first and try to find what I want to do. So I started school. In this school, I met a friend who were working in natural wine in Loire. So I follow him after my study. And I was working in Olivier Le Masson, a great winemaker in Touraine. So it was the beginning of discovering the natural wine. And then I returned to Bordeaux for other thing, musical working. And then the wine wasn't my first intention. But I met other people. I met Michel Théron, Pascal Schwam, and Laurence Alias, a winemaker in Médoc. So it restarted in my head I want to do wine. And then I met Camille in Bordeaux. That was our project after a few years together.
To start a domain together, or?
Yes, to start. But we haven't a place in France. We didn't know if we do in the south or in the north or in Bordeaux. We had some occasion in Bordeaux, but just let's try. Let's find something. So she and her study in Bordeaux was finished. So okay, now it's the time to go. And she had an opportunity in Clermont-Ferrand for.
Because she's more in archaeological.
Yes, it was her study working in museum actually. But yes, in Clermont-Ferrand it was an archaeological museum.
Yeah.
So she had 1 year's first of contract. So we decided to come in Clermont-Ferrand. And I stopped my job in Bordeaux. I was working in a big castle in Médoc, so very classical. But it was fine because Pascal Schwam was the cellar master, of this castle, and she did her own project in other side. So it was cool to work with her. But yes, she told me, okay, if you want to be a winemaker, you have to go. Bordeaux is too complicated. So she said, yeah, Clermont-Ferrand is good. Okay. So I follow Camille, and we felt, we say that, we felt in love of the region.
Of course.
Because yes, it's a volcanic landscape, a lot of small mountains, not big one, but small mountains. and a lake and a valley. So wow, this is a good place. And I start to work in Bud, the valley of Bud. It's in the south of Puy-de-Dôme. And I was working in Charmansa, a classical domain in Bud. But she knows a lot of other winemakers. There's a good fraternity here. So I met a lot of winemakers, and they say, they were very cool. We made a lot of party together. And we start in our head to say, maybe it would be nice to find something here. So we just check in internet, like most people do, and we found this domain. There were a show, an annonce, je sais pas comment on dit.
Yeah, an ad. Yeah.
Ad, yes. On the agriculture chamber, and they say there is a vineyard, 6 hectares.
Already organic.
Already organic.
Even better.
A cave, a cellar. Keys in hand. We say, wow. Okay. So super, so cool. So we call the owner.
Yeah.
And we met him in comment on dit, salon, show
trade fair. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And directly we say, we are interested by your vineyard.
Yeah, you had a good connection with you.
Yes, we had a good connection. Not the first time because we are interested. He had already 2 guys
Interested,
who were interested. One who did already the bank affair. So, but we had a meeting at the cellar. He shows the vines, everything, his work, his wine.
Yeah.
We say, we are interested.
Right.
What can we do to? So we decide to start the adventure. So we haven't any money, and so we met at the bank, the state, because the agriculture chamber gives you some help.
Yeah, to start. Yeah.
To start.
Yeah.
So we did all these things, and it took 1 year and a half to get the domain.
Amazing. And could you tell us, Mikael, more about Auvergne? It's still very new for most people in Australia. Could you tell us a little bit more about the Auvergne region, the terroir, the climate? How is it so unique here?
So yes, it's unique because it's one of. It's not the only one, but volcano place in France, because in Alsace they have also Pézenas in the south.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, it's almost the big volcano place in France. But the terroir is not really like volcano soil, because it's an old volcanic region. Almost the place we are, because yes, there is a younger part where there is the Puy-de-Dôme, Chaîne des Puys, we call. It's 10,000 years ago, the last eruption. But here we count like 1 million, so it's a very old volcanic place. So we have the base of volcanic. It's comment on dit calcaire? Clay. Limestone and clay, argile.
Yeah.
Because when the volcano grows, they put the limestone
bring it
up.
Yeah.
Because before the volcano, it was like the ocean.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
So that's why we have a lot of limestone.
Limestone, clay, and some basalt as well.
Yes, we have basalt in Coran. It's different because it's an old magma came from the Sancy massif of Sancy, who protect this part with like 20 meters of magma.
Oh.
So it protects this hill, yes. And then the erosion.
Erosion, yeah.
How can I say? Put the basalt at the north part of this hill,
yeah.
And mix with the clay. So that's why we have a basaltic soil. But it's not. It came from far,
way back,
50 kilometers away, the big volcano of Sancy.
Yep. Oh, amazing. I have a question regarding the Gamay. So Gamay is the main grape here. So you also have some Pinot Noir and some Chardonnay, of course. Yes. But Gamay here in Auvergne is quite different from Gamay in Beaujolais. So there is about almost 3 hours drive in between the two places. Or is Gamay from Auvergne different from Gamay from Beaujolais?
We have different variety. Here we have the Gamay d'Auvergne. It's not the most important because Gamay Beaujolais was, the enologists say that it was a better quality, so they planted a lot of Gamay Beaujolais here in Auvergne. Mm-hmm. So this is the variety of the Gamay. And the Gamay d'Auvergne give more pepper, spicy,
more earthiness,
flavor.
Yeah.
And but it's less colored.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit and less tannin. It's more acidity. So that's the difference. But it's give more by the soil and altitude. We are we are almost 200 meters higher. And we have a different climate because it's like in Alsace or the Pyrenees we have a Foehn effect.
Yeah, the winds. Yeah, with the mountains
came from the west and stop the cloud in the mountains. So we have a very dry climate, like Mediterranean. Very low rain, sometimes too low, but it gives this difference, more spice.
Yeah, peppery, spicy, earthy, more savory, I think as well.
Yes, and we have the clay and the limestone too. They have two in Beaujolais, but in Beaujolais it's almost granitic soil. And here, of course, we have the basalt, and the basalt it stock the water, and the vines who grow in the basalt, they don't suffer about the
water stress.
The water stress.
Amazing. Chardonnay is also something that is quite important here in Auvergne. Yep. I was very impressed also by your whites when I first tried your wine, and particularly the Chardonnay, the vibrancy, the depth of the Chardonnay here. It's a very unique expression, I find, compared to Burgundy or compared to the Chardonnay from Beaujolais. Can you tell us a bit more about Chardonnay here and how does it express itself?
So the Chardonnay here in Auvergne is pretty new because it was planted in 1960 or 1970 between the two this part of here. So it was because before it was a lot of only Gamay, and they decided to we are near Bourgogne, so we can do the same. We have a little bit the same climate, and it was how can I say? I think here the best part for the Chardonnay is the limestone, because it gives a lot of minerality
and depth.
Yes, the depth, and we have altitude, so it's dry, but the Chardonnay still have a fresh winter. So how can I say? Yes, it gives this aroma particularly. We don't have a Chardonnay in basalt, but we want to try to see the difference. what can it give?
Amazing. We are talking about white. In the future, you were mentioning that you may be thinking about other things and planting other grapes and try to see if it works. What are you thinking? What do you see in the future for you? What's the next
Yes.
next thing?
The next project.
Yeah.
Yes. We will see. It's depend because it's hard to find some soil here because we are near a city. So
it is hard to buy land because people prefer to put houses and it's very different. Like you got vineyards. For you guys, it's very difficult, I guess, to.
Yes, and how can I say the people prefer to sell for a building house because
of course
it's more expensive. So yes, but we have some soils already who are not planted. So we want to plant some vines there. We have a few ideas because we are still in a rent. We rent some vines that we will lose in few years. So we want to keep the same surface. So we want to plant some gamay d'Auvergne or gamay de Bouze. It's a tinted gamay. And we want to plant some white cepage from mountains. We want to keep the Chardonnay, but we want to put maybe some variety from Jurançon or variety from the Alpes because it's the same.
Like Savoie,
same climate. Let's see, because already I have some friends who planted some variety from Alsace. We have here Gewürztraminer, a little bit of Riesling. I want to do something different. Let's see if we can, or if we want to try, because here it's the big problem we have. It's very dry, so we have to find some variety who resist about the dry and the fresh climate in winter. So
why not?
The Gamay, yes, why not? The Gamay, the Chardonnay, the Pinot Noir is quite good for the moment, but let's see.
You're also thinking about with global warming and by planting other grapes, it's also a way for you to adapt to everything.
I am very interested about the hybrid.
Okay, hybrid.
I want to try because you don't have to put some product, because in biologic we almost put some natural product, but it would be better if we put nothing.
Of course. But you don't use. I mean, you don't use. You on the 2021. You don't use sulfur either. You're very minimalist in the way you make the wine. So hybrid could be a way for you to go further and use even less things.
Yes, that's the objective.
Yeah, that's exciting. No, thank you so much for welcoming us here, and maybe we hope we see you in Australia on the way to New Caledonia, because you have family in New Caledonia. So why not? Thank you so much, Mikael. À bientôt.
Ciao.